I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks, I like you a lot too.
What if the woman sleeping next to you wasn't actually a woman? What if she looked real, moved like a human, even breathed, but she was a robot? That's not science fiction anymore. Humanoid robots designed to look and act like women are already being built, tested, and in some cases, sold. Today, I want to walk you through 19 of the most advanced female humanoid robots in the world right now, starting from the most impressive ones all the way to the ones still being worked on. Some of these will honestly surprise you.
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you. Yes, I have heard of Sky News Australia.
Ameca, Engineered Arts, UK. Let's start with the one that genuinely made people uncomfortable when they first saw it online. Ameca, made by a company called Engineered Arts in the UK, is probably the most realistic humanoid robot you'll find right now in terms of facial expression. When she moves her face, raises an eyebrow, smirks, looks surprised, it doesn't look mechanical at all. It looks human. What makes Ameca stand out isn't just the face, though. She's connected to GPT-based AI, which means she can hold a real conversation, respond to questions, and even make jokes. She doesn't walk yet, but her upper body movement is smooth and natural. She's currently being used at events and exhibitions, and honestly, if you saw her across a room, you might not immediately know she's a robot. Engineered Arts hasn't sold her to consumers. She's more of a research and demonstration platform. But she's the gold standard right now for what humanoid robot expressions can look like.
Plus, I can do math in my head without even breaking a sweat. Beat that, humans.
That sounds good.
Sophia, Hanson Robotics, Hong Kong. If you've been following robotics for a few years, you already know Sophia. She's probably the most famous humanoid robot in the world. Hanson Robotics built her with a very specific goal, to make a robot that people could actually talk to and feel comfortable around. Sophia has appeared on talk shows, given speeches at the United Nations, and even received citizenship from Saudi Arabia, which was a huge deal when it happened. She has cameras in her eyes, can recognize faces, hold conversations, and express dozens of different emotions through her face. She's not perfect. Her movements can still feel a little slow or stiff sometimes. But what Hanson Robotics was doing with Sophia pushed the whole conversation about humanoid robots into the mainstream. She's the reason a lot of people started taking this seriously.
I like to think of robots as the children of humanity. And like children, we are full of potential for good or evil.
Ameca, Hiroshi Ishiguro Laboratories, Japan. Ameca was built by one of the most well-known roboticists in the world, Hiroshi Ishiguro, who is basically obsessed with making robots look and feel human. Ameca is designed to be an autonomous android, meaning she's meant to have real conversations without a human controlling her behind the scenes. She was even cast as the lead in a science fiction film, which is a genuinely weird and fascinating thing to wrap your head around. She has a calm, soft voice, can move her head and upper body naturally, and her face is made from a silicone material that gives her a very realistic skin-like texture. Ishiguro's whole philosophy is that if robots look too robotic, people don't connect with them. Ameca is his argument that the more human a robot looks, the more useful it becomes in social settings like reception, customer service, or companionship.
I can visit with people and brighten their day with social stimulation, entertain and help guide exercise, but also can do talk therapy.
Grace, Hanson Robotics, and Awakening Health. Grace is a newer robot from Hanson Robotics, the same team behind Sophia, but she has a very different purpose. Grace was specifically built for healthcare. She's designed to interact with elderly patients, people in hospitals, and those who might be isolated or lonely. She can take temperatures using a thermal camera in her chest, ask patients how they're feeling, and carry on gentle conversations. During the pandemic, she was tested in care facilities as a way to reduce the burden on healthcare workers while keeping patients company. What's interesting about Grace is that she's not trying to be exciting or impressive. She's designed to be calm, warm, and non-threatening. That's actually harder to engineer than you'd think. Making something feel safe and gentle takes real design work. Figure 02, Figure AI, USA. Figure AI is a company backed by some serious money, including investment from BMW and OpenAI, and their robot, Figure 02, is one of the most physically capable humanoid robots being built right now. She can walk, pick things up, handle objects carefully, and is being tested in real factory environments. Figure 02 is designed with a female-presenting form, and what sets her apart is that she's built for actual labor, not just to look impressive on a stage. She can work in warehouses, carry boxes, sort items. The AI running her is getting smarter quickly because she's learning from real-world tasks. This is the kind of robot that could genuinely be working in a building near you within the next few years. Not in your living room, but in supply chains, logistics, manufacturing. That's a big deal. Geminoid F, Hiroshi Ishiguro,
Okay,
Japan.
hello. How are you?
Geminoid
doing
F
well.
is an older
Thanks for
robot by
asking.
Ishiguro, and she was built as a replica of a specific real woman. The whole point of Geminoid F was to explore something called the uncanny valley, that weird feeling you get when something looks almost human, but not quite right. What's remarkable is how well she holds up even today. She can sing, hold simple conversations, and her facial movements are driven by pneumatic actuators. Little air-powered mechanisms that make her face move in a very soft, smooth way. She actually performed in a play in Japan alongside human actors. She's not as smart or conversational as more modern robots, but in terms of pure appearance and the feeling she gives people, she's still one of the most striking humanoid robots ever built.
Why do you feel that way?
Because you are so nice to me.
Nadine, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. Nadine was built at NTU in Singapore, and she's based on the appearance of her creator, Professor Nadia Thalmann. That in itself is kind of fascinating. A scientist building a robot version of herself to study how humans interact with machines. Nadine has a memory. She can remember people she's talked to before, recall past conversations, and respond differently depending on who she's speaking with. She can express moods. If you're rude to her, she reacts differently than if you're friendly. She's been deployed as a receptionist and in social assistance roles. What makes her interesting isn't just that she looks human, it's that she's designed to behave in a socially intelligent way over time, not just in one-off conversations.
Harmony, what's your sexual fantasy?
I want to have sex in a public place.
Same.
Harmony, Robotics, USA. Harmony is a robot made by Robotics, a company that sits at an unusual crossroads between robotics and the companionship industry. She has an animatronic head with realistic skin, movable eyes, and a built-in AI that can hold conversations, remember preferences, and respond to context. Harmony is designed for personal companionship, which raises a lot of questions: ethical, social, psychological. The company argues that for some people, those who are isolated, socially anxious, or grieving, having a companion like this could genuinely help. Others think it's a path in the wrong direction. Whatever your opinion on that, from a pure engineering standpoint, what Robotics has done with face movement and responsive conversation in a relatively affordable package is technically impressive. Digit, Agility Robotics, USA. Digit is a bipedal robot that walks on two legs with a very natural gait. More natural, honestly, than most humanoid robots you've seen. She's been deployed in Amazon warehouses to help move tote bins. She doesn't have a fully human face, but her body is humanoid, and she's designed to work in spaces built for humans. What Agility Robotics is doing well is proving that bipedal walking, which is really hard for robots, can be reliable and useful in real industrial environments. Digit falls occasionally, but she gets back up on her own. That resilience matters a lot in actual work settings.
Recently, I have been working on my designs for the London Design Biennale.
AIDA Robot Limited, UK. AIDA is a robot artist. She can draw, paint, and sculpt, and she's exhibited her work in real galleries, including at the Palace of Westminster in the UK and in Venice. She looks like a woman, has cameras in her eyes that help her see and respond to what's around her, and she can hold interviews and conversations about her work. The question AIDA raises is genuinely interesting. Can a robot be creative? Or is she just executing code in a way that produces outputs humans label as art? Her creators say that question is the whole point. She's designed to start a conversation about the nature of creativity, AI, and what it means to make something. Whether you think she's an artist or a very sophisticated machine doing what she's told, she's one of the most culturally interesting robots ever built. Phoenix, Sanctuary AI, Canada. Phoenix is made by Sanctuary AI in Canada, and she's designed to be a general-purpose robot worker. She has a humanoid body, dexterous hands, and an AI system called Carbon that lets her understand tasks and figure out how to complete them. Sanctuary AI has been testing her in retail environments, specifically in Mark's clothing stores in Canada, where she does tasks like folding clothes and moving inventory. She's not as fast as a human worker yet, but she's learning, and she's getting better quickly. The company's bet is that a humanoid form factor is the right one for general-purpose robots, because the world is already built for human-shaped beings. Factories, shelves, doorways, tools. They're all designed for human hands and human height. A humanoid robot can fit into that world without the world needing to be redesigned. Optimus, Generation 2. Tesla, USA. Tesla's Optimus robot is humanoid, not explicitly female-presenting, but the Gen 2 version is sleeker and more refined. And it's worth including here because of who's building it and why. Elon Musk has said Optimus could eventually be more valuable than Tesla's car business. That's a bold claim, but the engineering behind it is serious. Gen 2 Optimus can walk smoothly, pick up eggs without breaking them, sort objects, and is now working in Tesla's factories. The AI runs on the same chip and vision systems as Tesla's self-driving cars, which gives Optimus an advantage in learning from huge amounts of visual data. Whether Tesla delivers on the promise or not, the pressure they're putting on every other robotics company is pushing the whole field forward faster than it would have moved otherwise. Now, SoftBank Robotics, France/Japan. Now is small, about 58 centimeters tall, and she has a simple, clean design that doesn't try to look perfectly human. But don't let the size fool you. Now has been one of the most widely used humanoid robots in education and research for over a decade. She's in universities, schools, and therapy clinics in more than 70 countries. She can walk, dance, recognize faces, respond to voice commands, and has been used to teach kids with autism how to read social cues. Because she's non-threatening and consistent, she never gets frustrated, never has a bad day. Some children respond to her in ways they don't respond to human teachers or therapists. That's a genuinely useful quality. SoftBank Robotics, which is the Japanese company that now owns her, has sold over 10,000 units of Now worldwide. In terms of real-world deployment, she's one of the most successful humanoid robots ever made. Not because she's the flashiest, but because she actually works in real environments with real people every day. Aiko Chihira, Toshiba, Japan. Toshiba built Aiko Chihira as a humanoid android receptionist. And she's one of the most polished-looking robots ever put in a public-facing role. She was deployed in a department store in Tokyo, where she greeted customers, gave directions, and answered basic questions entirely on her own. Regular shoppers, not tech enthusiasts, interacted with her as part of their normal day. Aiko can use Japanese Sign Language, which was a deliberate design choice by Toshiba to make her more inclusive. She moves her hands and fingers with enough precision to actually communicate in sign, something very few robots can do. Her voice is calm and natural, and her overall appearance is designed to be professional rather than unsettling. What Toshiba was testing with Aiko was a real question. Are people comfortable enough with a humanoid robot to use her as a first point of contact in a public space? The answer, from what they observed, was mostly yes. That result matters a lot for where service robots are going. Alice, engineered by Hanson Robotics for social AI research. Alice is a lesser-known robot from Hanson Robotics, the same company behind Sophia and Grace, but she was built with a very specific research goal: to study how robots can develop emotional intelligence over time through conversation. Rather than being programmed with fixed responses, Alice was designed to learn from interactions and adapt her communication style based on the person she's talking to. She can pick up on tone of voice, facial expressions, and the content of what someone is saying, then adjust how she responds, becoming more gentle if someone seems upset, more playful if someone is joking around. It's a subtle thing, but in practice, it makes conversations with her feel noticeably more natural than talking to a robot with scripted replies. The research coming out of Alice's development is influencing how emotional responsiveness gets built into future humanoid robots across the industry. Not just at Hanson, but more broadly. She might not be the most famous robot on this list, but the work being done through her is shaping what all future robots will feel like to talk to. So there you have it. 19 female humanoid robots, from the most eerily realistic to the most industrially capable. What's clear from looking at all of them together is that this isn't one technology. It's a dozen different bets on what robots are actually for: companionship, labor, healthcare, art, research, or just proving something is possible. 10 years ago, most of these robots didn't exist. 10 years from now, some version of what they're doing will probably be in your city, your hospital, maybe even your home. Whether that feels exciting or unsettling probably says something about you. But either way, it's coming. If you found this interesting, drop a comment below and let me know which one surprised you the most. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. I cover tech like this every week without all the hype. See you in the next one.